Okay, so I'm going to be doing a Chrome text effect in Photoshop. I like to start with a black background for this one. I'm just going to start by putting some text down. I like to use this font. I think 100-point font's pretty good for the size of this canvas, so I'm just going to put on some text, Chrome, and then just to center it, I like to select the text in the background, and then just align it with this button and this one, so that way it's just nice and centered. And then the color of the text doesn't matter because we're just going to go down right here, just select the text, and then go down to this effects menu and start with a color overlay. And then you just want to make it like a sort of grayish color, blend mode normal, and opacity 100%, but just do something like, mine's at 81, 81, 81, but I know like B2, B2, B2 is one that works good as well. Just do OK on that. And then next you want to go over to bevel and emboss, and select that, and then click it. You want to do outer bevel, smooth technique, and then for depth you want to slide that all the way up to 1000. Direction you can do up, and then for size this one kind of depends on the font, but in this case I think around 25 is pretty good. And then softness you can bring that up a little bit to like 5. And for angle, 120 works pretty well. This one kinda you can play around with it a little bit. Yeah, 120, and then make sure use global light is ticked off, and then altitude put around 30. And then for gloss contour, just go ahead and use this one on the top left. Now it looks a lot better, a lot smoother. And for the highlight mode, make sure it's set to screen. Make sure it's the color white. And then the opacity set to around 75. And then shadow mode, make sure this is set to multiply. Make it black, and then opacity 75 as well. And after that, you can just click OK. And then we're going to want to do another bevel and emboss effect. So we're going to want to convert this to a smart object. And then now that it's all kind of one thing, just go back down to the effects and then bevel and emboss again. Now this time around, we're going to want to do a outer bevel and technique smooth. For the depth, you want to make it around 30 in this case. And for the size, you can bring that up to 10, and then soften, bring down to 0. And as for the angle and altitude, you can leave those as 120 and 30, and then for the gloss contour, put that back to the default one. And everything else, like highlight mode and shadow mode, you can leave the same. Screen, white, and 75% opacity, and then for the shadow mode, leave it as multiply, and the color black at 75% opacity. And next you want to do an inner glow, so you can click that. And for blend mode, you can leave it as screen, opacity 75, noise 0, make sure the color is white. Go ahead and put the choke up to 20, the size 10, and then for range, you can bump that up to 50, and then jitter 0. And then lastly, you want to check off gradient overlay. Go ahead and click that. You're going to want to put the blend mode to color burn, opacity around 60%, and then you're going to want to make a custom gradient for this one, so go ahead and click gradient. Then you're going to want to click this top one right here in basics, and then come and click the bottom right white one, bring the location to 50, and then to the right of this one you want to make a new one, set the location to 100, and then make sure the color is black, and press OK on that. Style you can set to linear, angle 90, and then scale 100%, and then method linear. Then after that you can click OK. Now we're going to want to come down, make an adjustment layer, curves, start by making a point. For this one you want to make the input around 55 is probably fine, but just to be safe I'll do like 52, and then output about 250. And then you want to click this button right here so that it affects all the layers below it. And then go ahead and make one more point to the right of that one. For this one you can do around 115, and then 13. And then make another one to the right of that one, about 212 for the input, and then 225 for the output. And that's all done with that. Now you want to press Ctrl or Command J in order to make a copy, and then click on the copy and make a clipping mask out of this one. And you can see now the shine's a lot better, but it's not very smooth. Like you can see all the pixels they really stand out. And so for this you can just turn the opacity down on the copy about halfway or so. You can kind of play with it though. So now you can see it definitely looks a lot shinier. But yeah, that's about it. Now you have kind of like shiny text. I think it looks really nice. Thanks for watching.